we doing, everybody? It is Jimmy King with WrestleLaunch with your Dynamite/Collision review. I unfortunately had to forego the Collision review because I had 3 hours worth of podcast that I needed to edit down that we all recorded when Sponge, Paul, and I actually sat down. So that is the reason why I did not get a chance to do the Collision review. I watched Collision. Unfortunately for me, and that's what I'm saying, fortunately, not unfortunately, but fortunately for me this week, Dynamite and Collision were on the same night, and they were just a 3-hour show away from me being able to watch both. So instead of having it be where I had no Collision review, we now have a Dynamite and Collision review in one go. So let's just jump right into it, why don't we? Dynamite kicks off its debut from Maine. That's right, they are in Portland, Maine, I believe. I could be wrong with the place. I know they're in Maine. I know that much. But they have the Bucks and Jericho standing in front of one of many of Maine's lighthouses, and they talk about the Stadium Stampede that's coming up, and then they also mention that they are teaming up tonight in a trios match, and they talk about their name for the evening. They say Y2 Jericho, and then they say the Bucks of Jericho. No, it's Y2 Jericho, and then the Bucks of Jericho, and then they say fuck it, porque no los dos. They just go with both. So it's one. I think they say 2 names, 1 team, or 1 team, 2 names, some goofy shit like that. They're facing Ricochet, Mark Davis, and Andrade tonight. What the hell is that opening segment? So I'm going to say, I mean, it's goofy shit and it's funny and whatever, and the crowd kind of pops for it, but like, oh, Jesus Christ. There is a shirt, though, however, that Andrade's got on and says, how you know. I might need to get one of those shirts because, like, that's been something I say a lot lately. Ricochet starts off against Jericho, but then he tags out to Andrade, and I just want to see Andrade's push alongside Rush. I'm honestly looking to see if maybe they might start up a new faction with LFI and try to get that going again proper, but whatever. The Bucks and Jericho work pretty well here, actually, and when they are together, they do show off some of their usual Bucks with tag team partner stuff, and you get their offense and you get their standing and posing, and they do at one point in time have Ricochet put on one of the Bucks headbands, and he does look very ridiculous, but they do eventually have the match go into Ultimate Calamity. Ricochet puts Jericho through the timekeeper's table. The dogs eventually come out while I believe it's Aubrey that is the referee, and while she is distracted, they hit Mac Jackson with the shillelagh, I believe it is, and that causes him to fall, and Andrade gets the win. 1, 2, 3, the match is over, and then literally all hell breaks loose, and you kind of get a preview of what Stadium Stampede is going to be like at Double or Nothing, which, by the way, is this coming Sunday. I will be reviewing. I will be watching. If you guys are out there watching, tweet me. We could live tweet it. Why not? That'd be kind of fun. And honestly, this goes completely off the rails. Everybody comes out at some point in time. Jack Perry comes out at one point with a fucking bag of onions that he hits. I think I can't remember who it is that punches, but he's also rocking some Jeff Hardy highlighter pants right now. He's got those like highlighter yellow pants that Jeff Hardy wore at one point in time. So like that's immediately all I think of. And literally this just goes off into complete calamity. I believe it's actually Toa Leona that he hits, or actually gets punched. Like Toa Leona punches the fucking onions as he swings them at him. Complete fucking calamity. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that Stadium Stampede match. It's 7-on-7. It's gonna be insane. So it's gonna be fun to see. We do see a video package for Okada and Takeshita and their match that's coming up. I'm so ready for that. That's like half the reason I'm looking forward to Double or Nothing. There's a bunch of other stuff that I'm looking forward to, but like Takeshita and Okada, oh my God, I need to see this match. They've been building it for so long, and they have faced off before, but like, hoofda. They do end up having a promo segment where Darby explains why he's been defending the title like he has, and he talks about Speedball, and then they talk to Speedball, and we get another video package for Darby and MJF. They're really pushing this one. And then at some point after that video package, we do see Tommaso Ciampa and Mark Briscoe in their absolute fucking insane, I don't know if it's a Falls Count Anywhere match or it's a no disqualification or what they technically called it, but holy Jeebus. Ciampa comes out with this really cool shirt that I'm gonna have to try to see if I can find. They say I've actually figured out what it's going to be. I think it's called farm t-shirts or farm shirts or something along those lines. I'm gonna try to see if I can't find that for you guys, because I did find them on Instagram, and that's going to be a line that they are dropping in July. So make sure you check out for that if you guys want to see that shirt, because I think it's pretty cool. I definitely put that down here. Mark Briscoe comes out with a trash can full of weapons that literally has a backpack strap attached to it, so he's carrying it like a backpack, much like the rest of the conglomeration does. That one, goofy as hell, but very, very fitting. And when I say that they go at it, it's absolute hell. They genuinely fucking do. At one point in time, Ciampa gets his fingers caught in like a huge mousetrap that's inside the trash can. They get yanked off the top. He has a chain wrapped around him at one point, but he gets yanked off the top, tossed through a table. Ciampa uses a cheese grater on Briscoe's head at one point, which just like, again, if you don't like that kind of thing, I get it. But in AEW, that was just a masterclass of opportunity when it comes to what they decided to do with the camera angle. While watching this in picture-in-picture, you actually see Ciampa bring a fucking stuffed chicken plush into the ring as a weapon and start using it. He starts beating Briscoe with it. It's funny as fuck. Briscoe gets a table and he dumps a trash can onto the table, and it's got barbed wire in, like just a regular wrap on the table. He actually starts beginning to like staple the fucking barbed wire to the table. And there are moments where he does go and he does attack at Ciampa because like he's taking a while, and eventually Ciampa does get him. And because he has the staple gun, he fucking staples paper to Briscoe's head. And at one point in time, Briscoe starts going after Ciampa in the ring, and he has a piece of paper stuck to the top of his head, and he's just walking around. It looks like a little hat, like it stays there for a little while. Ciampa puts a thumbtack knee pad on at one point in time, and Briscoe's able to avoid that, but then Briscoe brings in a screwdriver, and he really fucking gets Ciampa going with that screwdriver. Eventually, he gets the knee with the thumbtacks into Briscoe. Briscoe gets Ciampa off the top with two chairs to back, and like you can see just, oh my God, like Then there's a J driller through that barbed wire wrap table. He doesn't even give him time to like really be in pain because he brings him back into the ring, hits a froggy bow. Mark gets the win. And then they go to commercial, which was really good. There was no little segment or anything like that. They go to commercial, like perfect time for it. Like that was a perfect time for it because people are at home probably going, what the fuck just happened? I was. So, but when we come back from commercial, it's Prince Nana interrupting Tony Schiavone and asks Swerve to come down to the ring, where he gets attacked by Bandito, and they start going on about because actually Bandito got attacked by Swerve at Supercard of Honor. Now, mind you, Bandito is the ROH World Champion, so there is something going on there too. They go at it for a bit. Nana even gets involved with a chair, but eventually he gets saved by Swerve, and they talk about the Owen on camera because they kind of have to segue away from those two because they just disappear into the back and they're gone fighting. And they go on about how the world title is going to be on the line for the winners of the brackets at All In Wembley. So that's going to be interesting. They do talk about that Owen for a moment, and then unfortunately we do get some very unfortunate news. And I know I said unfortunate twice there, but Willow Nightingale comes out and she announces that due to injury, not only will she not be able to compete in the Owen, but she is also going to have to relinquish that TBS title. That sucks. I'm a fan of Willow Nightingale, so hopefully she gets better. Good luck in your recovery from whatever injury it is. I believe she said it was a shoulder injury, so good luck in that, Willow. But now we get to find out who is going to be the new possible TBS champion, so that's something to look forward to, unfortunately, but fortunately at the same time. We now have a Continental title eliminator match. These are fucking dumb. I understand this one. Okay, but still dumb. I don't necessarily know why Kyle had to do this. They should have just let him have the shot. He wants a shot. They should have had the shot. He's already beat Mox twice, regardless of whether or not Mox had the title then. He beat him twice. He should be able to do it. Personally, though, I still think that they're dumb. They need to not do these eliminator matches unless if the eliminator matches were exclusively for this belt, it would be okay. But they do it for other belts and stuff like that. So, like, it's just, guys, pick one. Okay? Yeah. And at this point, it's Kyle O'Reilly going up against Mox. People kind of know he's either going to win or he's going to break the tie when it comes to the time limit draw, which that's exactly what happens. They bring it to a time limit draw because if Kyle O'Reilly makes it the 20 minutes of time limit, he still gets a shot at the pay-per-view. So because, yes, he did get to a time limit draw, he ends up getting Mox like in an ankle lock, but Mox does not tap out. He does then say, because he gets a title opportunity, that the next time that they will go off, there will not be a time limit. And that does mean that there will be a Continental title championship match at Double or Nothing. Kyle O'Reilly will go up against Mox for that title. I really hope actually Kyle O'Reilly gets the win here because he deserves it. He has been a man on a fucking mission. We see Sheeta and Stat in the back. Sheeta's still acting fucking odd. Sheeta is still acting weird. Stat starting to really show that she is getting above it. She's annoyed with it. That's going to come to a head of Double or Nothing. I'm already going to tell you guys right now. So, Roosh says that he wants a shot at the world title if Darby survives Double or Nothing. There's a part of me that hopes that ends up actually because, oh my goodness, wouldn't that be the perfect way? Darby somehow survives MJF and shaves him at Double or Nothing, and then the very next Dynamite, he loses to Roosh. Huh. And I'm booking again. We have an 8-woman tag team match. It is the Triangle of Madness and Athena. I'm just happy to see Athena on my television screen because I'm a fan of Athena. She is the longest reigning ROH women's champion of all time. I think she's actually the longest reigning ROH champion, period, of all time at this point, where her reign is close or coming up on 1,200 days or something along those lines. It's absolutely ridiculous. Athena's doing great work just in general. She's great in the ring. She's just great on the mic. The character work is fantastic. I will admit, though, it would be nice to see them start building somebody else because Athena deserves a good break. She deserves a good break and then to come back into AEW because everything that she's done in ROH has definitely transitioned into something that she can do in AEW. So let it happen. She's shown that she can do it. Let it happen. They're going up against Thunder Rosa, Mina Shirakawa, and the Brawling Birds. I love to be able to see all of these athletes get an opportunity on TV. They actually do really well in these party matches. There are a lot of people that don't like the party matches. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't care. I like them. It gives people opportunity. It gets people on TV screens. It gets people paid. Who fucking cares? I think Thunder Rosa should be the one that takes Willow's place in the Owen, though, but we're just going to let that one be. With some fuckery, however, Tekla tries to bring in the title throughout this match at the very end, and Julia Hart sprays Thunder Rosa in the face, and that gets the win for it there. We see Jet Speed talking backstage. Jet is getting himself an opportunity to hype up Mike Bailey. We see Darby and Speedball right here. Yeah, and just about as the match is about to begin, MJF comes down to do commentary. That's right. They literally are about to ring the bell, and MJF's music plays. Perfect MJF, if you ask me. Yeah, they start off quickly. MJF is great on commentary, by the way. They come back from a commercial at one point, and Excalibur says that we have the most insecure man in all of professional wrestling with us on commentary, and MJF literally deadpan replies, says the man who wears a mask. Even Excalibur was like, touche. That's clever. That's what you need in a professional wrestler. I don't care, love him or hate him, MJF is the future professional wrestling. At this point, it doesn't bother me where he goes. Eventually, he can go to WWE for all I fucking care. He is going to do something. He is going to do great things. I'm an MJF fan. He's better than you. He's better than me. We all know it. Anyway, Darby at one point in time puts the ring steps on Mike Bailey's foot because as people may or may not know, I know most people do if they're watching this, Mike Bailey wrestles without boots, so he has bare feet. So he's got the ring steps on his toes. You can tell that actually kind of hurt a little bit, I'm sure. MJF at some point gets up and puts Bailey's foot on the ropes to try to stop a pinfall attempt, and that brings Jet down. Darby ends up getting Mike Bailey to tap to the Scorpion Deathlock, and MJF walks off. And of course, after they do walk off a little bit, once Collision begins, MJF tries to go after Darby's hair. He's got clippers. And then after a little bit of fuckery in that, and he gets run off, we move on to Ospreay and Shibata. You see Ospreay getting his jacket tossed on to the back by none other than, I believe it's actually Mox. Mox is actually, or no, it's Claudio. Claudio is the one putting the jacket on Will Ospreay's back, and then they go off to his next match. Throughout this match as well, they do have a great brawl. And you do still see that same amount of aggressiveness, but there's still that aerial edge of Will Ospreay. And because it's Shibata, there is a whole extra element because of their knowledge of one another. But this still goes Will's way. Afterwards, although, because it is Shibata, who did at one point hit a fucking hidden blade. I will admit that. He hit a hidden blade beautifully. Okay, I'm just going to point that one out. Joe comes out to the ring on a mic talking about helping his friends. Will talks about how the stakes this year are higher, despite the fact that he wasn't able to be involved last year because of everything that was going on. He gives the writers a lot of credit for making him the real, true assassin that he is, that they will see. He says the Death Riders rebuilt him to be said assassin. And when Samoa Joe came down, And Anthony Bowens came down. The Riders came down as well. At one point in time, actually, Anthony Bowens comes down in the middle of the mat. You actually see Claudio Castagnoli and Marina Shafir at ringside watching Will Ospreay back. He's not going to become a Death Rider, I don't think. If he does, that would be interesting. But I genuinely think that that's going to be an interesting angle that they have for a little while now. So I'd like to see that one continue quite a bit. Just saying. We then see Cage and Cope talking about how they've had their good times and their bad times, and they've had some decent odds in their life, being friends through everything from 6th grade. They've gone through college, and they've gone through training, even finding out that they're going to be fathers to daughters within 6 weeks apart of each other. I genuinely love how, as Cope talks about this entire sequence, Cage's face just at certain points. I love how they're playing this. I do. He hasn't changed at all. He has not changed at all how he has been acting. He is just deciding that he is the group's douchebag. That's what he is. He does have a fucking beautiful quote here that if you have not been paying attention, pay attention, please, right now. The quote from Christian Cage is perfect. He says, "You know, people say you were born looking like your family, but when you die, you look like your choices." Oh, that was a perfect line, because he's talking about how FTR made choices, and the reason why Cage and Cope are going to beat them at Double or Nothing is because of the choices that FTR has made. Oh, damn. Damn. We have a Roosh match that he's going up against TJ Crawford. Don't know much about this kid. Didn't go looking for him this time. I apologize, y'all. I really do. That match didn't go long. He decimates that poor boy. But it's still good because it's Roosh. You know what I'm saying? It's Roosh. He's supposed to be getting it. He even says at one point, you gotta get the horns, blah, blah, blah. If Darby Allin manages to beat MJF and Roosh gets the opportunity at the title, put that title on him. Just do it. Crowd love him. And you already know that he can carry that fucking belt. He's carried many a belt. Just put it on him. They go to a commercial. When they come back, they have the Divine Dominion's 5-minute challenge thing, and there's a moment there where they're talking to Renee, and it's actually kind of funny because you can kind of tell that Lena just wants to say something and get out, and I think Renee got a little bit annoyed there. They're going up against Kayla Lopez and Elle Valentine. Two kind of job matches. I wouldn't say completely two job matches back-to-back. Makes me a tad worried, but they did good. Okay? They actually let those girls get a little bit of offense in, but the Divine Dominion still looked fantastic. They got more time than Crawford did. I'll give them that. Hell, I'll give them credit because they had these two beautiful stalling suplexes, and then Elle, I believe, right? I think, right? Yeah. Elle and Kayla, or Kyla. I didn't hear how they said it. They managed to keep that upright perfect. So that's what I'm saying. They run it perfect. They do run down Double or Nothing, and like I said earlier, I will be watching that. I will be reviewing that, so everyone's just got to stay patient with me. And then we have the main event of Collision, which is FTR versus Orange Cassidy and Roddy Strong as the conglomeration, since they earned that opportunity at the tag team titles. This match goes for a while. There is literally 2 commercial breaks. There's 2 pictures in pictures. I like the team up of OC and Roddy Strong. I really do. They mesh really well together. They've teamed up really well together here recently. There's that little while there where OC was trying to get Roddy to like him, and Roddy was like, no. But I genuinely like when they team up because they work really well together. There is a decent little back and forth between them, and it's fun to watch. Genuinely fun to watch. Like I said, though, 2 commercial breaks during this one. I will admit, some good segments. I will have to say one thing, though. If you're going to have a main event like that, try to get most of those commercials out of the way so there's only one, because, like, fuck, man, why? 2? But, yeah, these 4 guys in the ring are not going to give you a bad match. They are not going to give you a bad match. And this is a good main event for a 3-hour show that technically had 2 main events because they decided to split the show halfway through. But they do a double suplex on OC, and Roddy, like, comes in with the kick because I'm trying to keep on track. I'm going to keep it on track with the match. Comes in with a single leg drop kick that was actually pretty cool because, like, you could see the reaction between them, and it was fun to see. Stokely, though, starts to get a little bit fucky with his goddamn stolen Rolex or whatever that stupid watch is that he got from Cage. At one point, tries to hit him, does not make it work. Finally does manage to hit Orange Cassidy, and that is end up what is going to make the victory happen for FTR. They retain their fucking titles. This was decent. This was a decent run-up to, because honestly, there was no fuckery after that. They ended up winning the match, and that was the end of the show. They talked about it. He even did the whole, like, for Tony Schiavone and such. Like, they got their usual outing, man. This was just a solid pre-Double or Nothing show. It wasn't like a blow our entire load before the pay-per-view type of thing. They didn't jump the shark. They did a really good job to keeping people really interested in what's going to happen at Double or Nothing. And I really want to see if there's going to be an announcement on who's going to be the wild card now that's going to replace Willow Nightingale. Just curious. I want to know, because last year had a wild card in the Owen, and that's when they announced that Josh Alexander came in. So I want to see that, man. I want to see it. I am also going to do a couple of things here. We're going to be doing a review for Double or Nothing when Double or Nothing happens. Double or Nothing this Sunday. So it is literally Thursday the 21st now. So this coming Sunday. So in three days, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be Double or Nothing from Louis Armstrong Stadium in New York City. So I'm going to be watching that one, or maybe, I don't really know if it's New York City, but I know it's New York, that whole vicinity. I'll be watching that one. I'm going to be working on a video too that's going to be talking about what my predictions are, what Paul and Sponge's predictions are for the Owen as well, because I'm also going to try to hopefully run down who the competitors are going to be in the Owen. I'm not glad that Willow got injured, but I'm glad that I have not made that video yet, because that would make me go, aw, because then I wouldn't be able to include the wild card. So, but that's going to be it for me. I enjoyed watching Dynamite and Collision. I hope you guys also enjoyed it. I am going to take off, but make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought, because again, it's not only my opinion that matters, it's yours too, because wrestling is for everyone. You don't have to like every single thing that happens, just like you don't have to like every single thing that I said. Let me know, and we're going to keep on rolling. 4 simple rules: stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy, and above all else, fucking love professional wrestling. I love you guys. I'm out of here.